Good evening, everyone. We weathered the cold and down here. You hear that music behind us?
Oh yeah, I hear it.
How's it sound to you? How's it sound to you?
Sounds wonderful to me.
I wonder who is the artist on that thing. I mean, listen to that. Who is that? Who you think it
Somebody
is?
I know. Tell us somebody you know.
I think it's somebody we know.
Oh!
That's right. That is G-Body. That's the first track of his new CD, and we're going to be talking about that in depth today. We're also going to be talking to G-Body about all kind of things. You know, normally when I interview someone, I say, well, let me know what you want me to talk about. And he's such a transparent guy. He says, you can ask me anything, talk about anything. That's it.
Oh, that was last week.
Wait, talk about what? What did he say?
R. Kelly, that was last week. You missed
that. Had him. Oh, just curious. No, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Today, we're excited to have our special guest who just released a new CD. Is that your first CD?
That's my third.
Your third?
Yes.
I'm late.
Yeah.
Super behind. His third CD is super. What did you say? She said super behind. I'll take that two ways. His third CD, and this one right here is blowing up the airwaves. I'm hoping my friend Angela Marie from ATL that has that jazz station for several hours every day. I hope you're listening and tuning in. If not, I've got to send you this. The entire show today is going to be dedicated to our guests. Typically, we do the robust news you can use. We'll go back to that in 2 more weeks, but we have these guests, so we got to give them all of our time. Big shout out to our partners, GV Entertainment, Oda Enterprise, and everybody knows what happens next week on the 28th. Tax season, great tax service.
Say what?
What about it?
Say what am I saying?
I start my show off with a scripture, and for today, it's from Romans 12:6-8. In His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you're a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it's giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. And I picked this scripture because when we read what we're going to call a bio, it kind of exemplifies the person sitting next to me in the red.
Oh, yes.
Who calls himself what? G-Body. It took me a minute, like, why G-Body? I thought it was like G-Body was something to do with, like, Elliot, don't look at me like. Anyway, so someone said, Janice, what's his name? And what's his last And what's his last name? And I said, oh, G-Body. I got a little blonde on today. Anyway.
Today?
You know what? Hey, wait. Oh, now my host said, okay, everybody's funny. Okay, I just thought G-Body was something about the body.
Oh, God.
Oh, you know what? And we're going to ask you what you used to do before the music song. You were?
Well, that's what he started out as.
And there goes G-Body. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Rather than read a formal bio, as I said, I didn't have one. So I thought I'd take that Facebook post where he said, tell me something you like about me. Because when other people, like when they told me how, I won't even say how they describe me, but people tend to tell the truth more than not. So we're going to kind of go around and read some of the things that people said to G-Body, and that'll give you a glimpse into who the man is. One of the first things they said, his personality and his humbling spirit. It's true.
You want to honor God with your work.
Great, humble musician and dog lover.
And if anybody ever seen his page, them ugly dogs. Oops, I know you love. I'm sorry. I know he loves his dogs.
You messed it up already.
I'm sorry. What kind of dogs are they? What kind of
American bullies?
American bullies?
Yes.
For those of you who are dog lovers, American bullies are so cute. I just love them. So, the next one is, and this is noteworthy. He's a great father.
Your love for God. You are humble. You love your children, and you are an anointed musician.
You carry yourself with great integrity and dignity. I like that in you.
Then this has to be a female who said, let's see. Talented, funny, and those dimples, an all around good guy. What's not to like?
So glad you had to read that one. Thank you, ma'am. So glad you had to read that. I was wondering who's gonna read that one.
You make sure you go past those.
Right.
And just
I don't think I can read that.
Right.
Anybody want to take that one?
You have seemingly built your own road to success by believing in who God told you that you are. That is not always as easy as it sounds, and very admirable.
A very humble and God-fearing brother, not to mention an excellent bass player and great teacher. I'm so glad our paths crossed, and it's an honor to be under your wing.
Now, all those things, it has a common theme. And most of Elliot, I know we've been knowing him since the Sears days.
Yeah.
Back in, what was that? 2005, 20?
Yeah, 2006.
When did you start playing with Sears?
I don't know.
2006, probably a little bit after that.
2006.
Yeah.
So that's been 12 years. 13 years.
Yeah.
And he's always been the same humble, nice, helpful. I mean, all these things just exemplifies G-Body. And I'm not saying this because he's sitting here, because we've had a lot of guests here. And we are going to be right back and start in the interview. And he said we can ask anything we want. I have a whole slew of questions. We'll be right back after another track from G-Body's CD.
G-Body.
Outstanding. Girl, you knock me out. Excited. It makes me wanna shout. Outstanding. Girl, you knock me out. Excited. It makes me wanna shout.
And for those just tuning in, I want you to share, and share. The Voices of Change is on, and our special guest today is G-Body. We're going to start out with the first interview question, and it's tell the listening no. Did you say what he did? Did you say what he did?
You gotta pray.
I know you gotta say the right thing. Yeah. Don't get me in trouble.
Go with me, God. Come on.
Tell the listening audience your background about being a stripper. What did you do before the music? Also, tell us something about yourself.
What was your favorite song?
No, that's down here a little bit later.
Well, all I've ever done that I remember is play guitar and bass. And before I went professional, I was a cop in Hillside.
Mm-hmm.
I worked as a teacher assistant in special ed at Proviso West. Yes.
So you're in education and you were the popo.
Yeah.
No stripper, huh? I mean, the police.
Well,
no stripper.
The police was his stripper thing.
Yeah.
You don't want you to know all of it. I got to help him out a little bit.
Oh, so when he went in, he was I got it. I got it.
When you had to be a bachelorette party, he wasn't the one that came through with the.
Okay, so since you were a police, so you must have did that for a little while. How did you segue to music? And Okay, so you have a family, you at least have a child, because everyone said how you love the family. So you have to be able to support yourself and the family. How did you migrate it so you were able to support yourself just doing the music?
Well, I was always playing bass, still doing working for the school, working for the police station, and really when my music kind of took over 2006, that's when I kind of let it go. And since then, like my first year, really just doing music, I made over 6 figures.
Oh, just by playing the, I mean,
Just by
not
playing
just,
the
but by playing the,
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So it's possible because people think like you can't make that kind of money doing music.
Oh, you can. It's just you got to make sure it's your.
but are you gigging all the time? I mean, are you always?
No, I don't. I don't want to offend nobody, but I don't prostitute my gift. So
Okay.
Amen.
I play for people who I want to invest in.
There you go.
Amen. That's it.
So majority of the time, I sit at home and I feel like I don't have to waste no gas. I don't have to buy no outfit for somebody else's gig. That's probably paying $75 or $100.
There you go.
So
A night. Yep.
I'm saving money by being at home, and when it's time to move, it's time to move.
Well,
So what's up?
there you go. Well, what drew you to the music industry? What drew you to play?
It's in my blood. My grandfather played. My uncles played. My cousin Cece, my cousin Corinthians. Both of them was playing guitar before me, so I picked it up when I was 8 years old. And I was trying to play guitar, but it was like, listen, it's too many guitar players, so we need you to play bass. So my cousin Cece tuned my guitar to a bass, and that's how I started playing bass.
Did you play in church too?
Oh, that's all I knew. That's exactly where I come from, church.
That's what's up. So who are you inspired by?
I don't. You know what? As far as it's all my heroes are pretty much like local.
Mhm.
So definitely Dennis Smith, Harold Stewart, Maurice Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Andy Rainey, rest in peace. A lot of keyboard players. I never listen to a lot of bass players. I always listen to keyboard players, because I like to dissect the chord and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Every bass player needs to hear you say that.
What do you
a
mean?
couple
Wait.
of
Okay.
two,
Okay. Help me.
Every bass
Dissect the chord. Talk to me.
Every bass player needs to hear him say that because as a keyboardist, it is so annoying to play with somebody that, how can I say, you can't feel what I'm doing.
Right.
You just playing.
You're just playing, right?
If you study keyboards, you know how to play with a keyboardist or organist or whatever. So like, yes, every bass player needs to know that. You need to study keyboard artists so you can like really learn how to play with people. Otherwise, you're just gonna be playing. You're not really making music. You're just playing notes. To me, anyway. So yeah.
And when he says split the chord, what does he mean?
G-body, you can't expound.
Same thing, just like y'all do when y'all singing in the choir. The soprano singing one part, and pretty much that's what keyboard players, they play in different parts. And a bass player, pretty much everybody always think probably 1, 4, or 5. I'm just gonna be real simple. They probably just thinking about those 3 notes. They don't understand that, what I'm saying, all the notes that he's playing, I can play one of those notes.
Oh, on a bass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful when you have an experienced, knowledgeable bass player.
That's interesting. That's good. That's why it sounds like one almost. It's like, okay. I'm going to read some of these comments on here. And Mary Anderson says, hello, fam.
Hello.
Dennis Smith, I think I heard your name mentioned. Did you mention Dennis Smith as a mentor?
My hero.
Oh, Dennis, did you hear that?
My hero.
Richard Givens, hey, I'm glad you're watching. Mary Chu.
That's my Mary.
You're Mary?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 Marys now.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my Mary. Hey, Miss Mary.
Okay. All righty then. So we're going to go to the next question. And the next question is, so you said this is your 3rd CD. Tell us about the first 2.
The
Then-
first CD is called Body Way.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
Oh, I used to play that. Oh.
Yeah.
So you're not behind as you thought you were.
I
Isn't
used to
that
play
wonderful?
that at the other. That's
You
right.
can't use my song for something?
Yes, I did. Oh
I
my
just thought
God.
about that.
He's right. And he's so humble because I said, can I use one of your songs for my show? He's like, oh, sure. Just like that. You're right.
I should charge.
I remember. No, you. Oh my God.
He's being honest.
Well, that's how most of them. You know, are you making money on this show? No, no, I'm just joking. Body. Okay, and the second one.
It's, who am I?
Mm-mm. Who am I? Okay.
And the third one is feeling good.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
Now, what inspired you to do the feeling good? You know, I'm going to ask you about one part of it,
Okay.
but I'm not going to ask you right now. But what inspired you about feeling good?
Well, feeling good because so the first two albums, the first one, I never really considered myself as an artist. I always produced. At the time, I was working with Todd Delaney, and we had a lot of people coming to us trying to sign both of us. So what I did, because both of us was hurting for money and everything, but I invested in us so people can hear Todd Delaney.
Oh,
Wow.
so you promoted him?
Pretty much, because I mean we were best friends, and you know we had put out a lot of music together. Well, we made a lot of music together, but neither one of us had the money. So when the money came, I invested, and I called it body weight, but at the same time it was basically to highlight what he was doing and highlight what I was doing as a producer. So I never thought about myself being an artist. Pretty much the first and second album, I was pretty much putting it out as a producer. This third album, that's when I found myself. That's why I say feeling good.
Okay, thank you.
What's your creative process?
I just play I just grab my bass and I play. Sometimes the chord come to me. Sometimes the bass line will come to me. Sometimes just the melody will come to me. It just depends. Some songs come to me right away, and like there's been a couple songs that probably took me like 2 years to write.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Well, I don't feel so bad. I still got stuff I haven't finished. So
You sure indeed do.
It's what I mean. It's right here. It's right here. So you got to answer one of the questions I was going to ask. Do you collaborate with others? But we see that he has. But on this last project, who did you collaborate with?
Reginald Foster, Reggie Foster Jr. He's a saxophone player in multi-jewels. We call him Tough. I collaborated with them a lot. Pretty much they produce pretty much majority of the songs that's on there on my project now.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and we actually working together right now too. Me, Reggie Foster, and Tough. So we about to be doing a lot of stuff around the world.
Wow.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I got two questions. Are you and Todd still collaborating and working together?
No.
Because I know he's kind of okay.
We're still friends. We're still great friends. He's in a different lane, and I'm in a different lane now.
Okay. Also, with your feeling good, was there any hidden meanings in the music? I know a lot of times when people put out their own music, there are hidden, and sometimes they don't want to disclose it. So if you don't want to disclose it, that's fine.
I don't mind.
Okay.
This album wasn't so personal. My first two were. This third album pretty much was just, how I was feeling. I feel good. And I just, kind of share my the love songs and, a little bit of everything. But yeah, it's not so personal. The first two is.
Okay. Well, I remember Body Way. I remember that.
It's coming back.
Yeah, I have to pull that up. There was one I really liked.
Ty was on that. He was on
He
the second
was?
too. Yeah. He's on two songs on Body Way, and he's on one song on Who Am I?
Time to go back, Jan.
Yeah, you got to go back and revisit. You be like, oh, that's why I know
there
that
was
voice.
one that I used to really play all the time.
Which was?
I gotta remember the name of it.
Oh.
Do you know how many people give me CDs? I mean, so
But none of them gave you G-Body CD though.
you're absolutely, and I speak very highly all the time of G-Body, all the time.
And
very
he's
highly
most
of it.
worthy of it. I don't.
He
say
is
that
because I don't speak. I mean, I speak well of people.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I don't say that because we're kind of related. I just say it.
You're kind of what?
We're kind of related.
Oh, see now you
Oh,
relate.
I gotta do it just a little bit.
He's my cousin too. You didn't know that? I didn't want to make. I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh my God.
Look, we
Well,
just
since
not
the
even
fight
out.
was bogus yesterday, y'all can go ahead and fight now. Pay per view, you know what I'm saying? We just do it
Right here.
Move the table and let's get it. Collect some money. Cash out.
He's all about the money now. I understand how
Let's
he's
get it.
accumulating all that wealth. Okay.
See?
So you guys are related, distant relatives, really?
Yeah, we have a cousin. He's related on their father's side. I'm related on their mother's side.
Oh,
Yeah.
small world. Ain't
Yeah,
it?
I'm fighting him and a drummer who I know. Been knowing him for a long time, and we found out, that we're related. I'm like, all this time, you just never know. The world is very small.
It is. It's very small.
That explains all that wonderful musicality that just flows around.
And I also know that you were part of the Smith Brothers CD.
Yes.
There was a song that used to play. I used to play that all the time too. Gosh,
Big fan, right?
yeah,
Like that.
he played on that too, and that was
But she can't remember none of the
awesome.
names.
Well, because I mean, I'm playing on these. I have these spurts where I play it for like 3 months. Yeah, but it's so many of them. It's a lot of songs. What was the name of that? The Smith Brothers. Okay, Dennis Smith. Since you're tuned in, tell me the name of the song on your CD. The one of my favorites. It was the one about. Oh man, it's bugging me now.
It's gonna come to you when you're not thinking about it.
Dennis, yes, you can. Dennis, tell me the name of the song. Come on, hit me up. Tell me the name of the song.
No.
Look, he probably got to remember himself.
I know, because he's working on
CD.
another one now, so I know he's all. Because that's what's kind of clouding his memory.
What's your favorite part about this line of work, or your least favorite?
It's not work.
It's not
Say
work?
that.
It is.
Say that.
It's so when you go out and do a gig, it's you're just playing and having fun.
Because I don't prostitute my gift and who I play for.
When you say prostitute your gift,
Come on.
expand on that because then I'm gonna bring up another. I wasn't gonna talk about current events, but he's mentioned it anyway.
I look at it like this, like somebody called me and say, hey, I want you to play. And I got to learn like 12 songs and I'm not going to play for that person again. And it's somebody that, I love music, but I really don't want to play for that artist.
Mm-hmm.
It's something, I choose not to do it. Artists out, like Malcolm Williams, I've done probably like 4 or 5 albums with him. And I got asked to do a lot of albums with other people, but I choose not to because it's a lane that I don't know. I'm guarded of myself.
And you should be.
I don't want to, when I give my my input on people's project, I want to make sure they walk in the way I'm walking to.
Okay, let me ask you this. So if someone said, I want to work on a project and I really need you because you produce, you this, you that, you would have to make sure that they're in the same lane that you are before you do
I
it.
got to see what type of person they are. Because I don't do it for money. Like I have a studio and it's not open to the public.
Okay.
So I don't rely on nobody money.
Even the public who's going to say, I'll pay you so much an hour. It doesn't matter.
They always ask. If I don't believe in what you're doing and I really don't want to, be around you, no, I pay to be on myself. That's just,
Okay.
I always been like that. Because you gotta be careful who you cross. I don't hang with everybody. So it's a lot of stuff out here, even like the drinking and the stuff like that. No disrespect, every now and then I have a drink or something like that. But people that feel like they need that liquid courage or that, I don't do that. I don't. So yeah.
That's good.
I'm telling you, he's the man.
Okay, now I have to put this out here, and it's not aligned with it at all. But I just want to see how everybody thinks. What do you guys think? I mean, everybody's different opinions. What do you think about Gladys Knight doing the national anthem, Super Bowl? I've been hearing so much about it. I just have to put that out there. She's an artist. She likes to sing.
She's not the only one doing it though. So it's like it's hard because how are we gonna tell them not to make their money?
Well, what I have an issue with is I remember when all this first came out with the knee, and everybody was gonna, not watch football that lasted not even a half game.
No, that's not
So if they're
happening.
gonna watch the game anyway, right? I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. And she is an artist, and that's how she makes her money. She doesn't have to give a reason for it, even though she's given a lengthy one that's putting her in hot water. But how do you feel, Elliot, if they ask you to sing the national anthem? You would say, Jay, can you go Super Bowl? And I'll just
Look,
I'd be like, yeah, let's
she's
go.
an artist. She want to make her money. Make her money.
And she hasn't been. I mean, she.
She's on. I feel like she's probably on the latter end of her career.
Yeah, she is. She is.
And she doesn't have anything to prove. She's.
But I wouldn't have to give a response either.
I mean,
she's on what?
That's what I mean. Make that money.
She want to put that money in the bank.
Yeah.
Did she do a farewell tour? Was that her?
That was
No,
Anita.
Anita Baker.
Okay.
And Anita ain't going nowhere. She in Vegas now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have the longest farewell tour on the man. Come on.
Yes, she did. She came out. I saw her twice in 3 months.
See, I'm saying.
this long farewell, baby. But no, I'm like, go make your money, do your thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, absolutely. I mean, you know what you stand for.
Yeah,
You just-
Yeah.
I mean, not singing is not going to change nothing.
exactly.
Not
That's,
at all.
but I wouldn't go into all that explaining it. You don't have
But
to.
you know, you feel sometimes you feel like you have to. Just
I don't know.
You know,
Yeah, well, sometimes it gets you in hotter water.
you'd rather
too.
explain it than have to like say something else to somebody later. In some cases, you know, let's get
Just
this
put it
out the way
put it
now.
out
I
there
said
one
what I
time.
said. I'm
right. Put
Yeah.
it out there one
Yeah.
time instead of doing it individually.
Explain it why I'm doing it, okay, or
Right.
whatever, or I'm not, or
Right.
whatever. So we're gonna take a quick break. I know G-Body probably wants some water or something. He's been talking nonstop, and we'll be right back after hearing another track from that wonderful CD, "Feeling Good."
Wanna put my arms around you, baby. I wanna see you. Wanna put my arms around you, baby. I wanna feel you. Wanna put my arms around you, baby. It's just me and you. We're compatible. Love so beautiful. Oh, oh, oh. All I need is your melody. All I ever wanted is
For those of you just tuning in, you're listening to the Voices of Change on Intellectual Radio, and we're here sitting down candidly, laughing and talking with G-Body, who has his third CD release out recently, and he has been blowing up. I'm just asking him a couple questions, and if you have questions, definitely put them in there, and if I see it, I'll try to ask it. And share. We want people to
Share.
see this, and not just on the rebroadcast, but see it
Share.
live. Okay, Mr. E.
So, as a musician, I'm very certain you've traveled internationally. Where have you traveled to?
Can you remember?
Right.
Can you remember, Jay? Don't be doing no.
I remember all the countries.
Germany, Spain.
Germany, how'd you like that?
It was different.
Germany?
But I found the McDonald's over there, so I was
It wasn't the same anyway.
It's
Was it?
probably a very
Were the
pure
people
McDonald's.
nice?
yeah,
Okay.
you know,
Germany.
Spain,
Mm-hmm.
London,
Oh, yeah, London, yeah.
Argentina.
I was going to say, I knew it was Argentina, too,
Yeah.
recently this summer. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Amazing.
Okay, so you had all that international travel. What do you have coming up locally, domestically? Or do you have something locally, domestic coming up?
February 15th, I'm doing a
Valentine's
Love Gala.
Day. Oh, a what?
Love Gala.
A love gala.
Gala.
Where?
251 Canterbury Lane in Bolingbrook.
Are you going to do Love Ballad?
Yes.
Um, Whenever you get a minute, if you can cue up Love Ballad, you guys got to hear Love Ballad, because in Love Ballad, he does the vocals on there. And I am just so impressed with those vocals. I knew you played, but I didn't know you sing like that.
And see, I'm gonna talk about you real good for that. 'Cause I'm
Why?
like, how did you not know that was his voice? You've heard him speak. He sings,
But I
almost in the
did-
place where he speaks.
No, because I was like, who you got singing? That's what I was asking her. I didn't
I'm like,
know.
that's him.
I said,
I get that a lot,
I said, that's not him. He don't sing.
Maybe because you know what, I've heard him sing when he was clowning around with us. Like
I never. It's
That's
always
probably
he's
what it
standing
is.
there, But and like, who is it?
He be in it though.
Well, he
be
collabs with
in it.
everybody, so I thought he probably had somebody laying down some vocals. Then I heard it was him, and I'm like, oh.
Well,
So we're gonna take a quick listen to Love Ballad so you can hear him with his vocals. For those of you old enough to remember Love Ballad.
I have never been so much in love before. What a difference a true love made in my life. So nice, so right. Loving you gave me something new that I never felt, never dreamed of. Something changed. No, it's not the feeling I had.
So if you heard the vocals on that is G Body singing that. He surprised me. I didn't know. You've been singing all the time? That's me.
Only in the studio.
Wait.
In the studio, I definitely try. I never knew that.
So when you do this show on the 15th, are you going to do that?
You gonna sing it like for real?
Absolutely.
Oh.
I sung in Cancun too. I did Cancun.
You didn't tell us Cancun? Okay, go ahead.
You be everywhere. How about that?
I know. So you're going to do it on the 15th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go on. I see it in your face. Go ahead.
I'm just curious. That's cool. Oh, have you ever dealt with, we're talking about vocalizing now. I know when you play, you probably don't, but have you ever dealt with performance anxiety?
Yes.
Wow.
But not playing. Not
if I singing or if
yeah,
just playing.
Both, either.
Yes, playing. Oh, I didn't.
Playing?
I never. Yes. Oh my God. I a lot of my students and musicians that always come up to me and they be like, I want to get to the next level, and I'll be honest with them. Like, I used to feel like my heart was going to fall out of my chest. Absolutely. I never wanted the big stage. I always shied away from it. I was okay playing in a storefront church. I was good. I was happy. But my playing and I guess my personality took me to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
I started getting phone calls to say, hey, man, I want you to play for me. I started playing for Smokey Norfolk.
Oh,
and I
wow.
was on stage with Mary, Kurt Franklin, and all these different artists and doing sessions with Heather Headley.
Oh, I love Heather.
And
too.
I'm talking about.
Really?
Yeah. And, I was in New York. I never forget. I was in New York, and Jason Tyson said, "Hey," I asked Jason when he was backstage, and I was like, "Bro, do you ever get nervous?" He was like, "Absolutely." He was like, "Absolutely." He said, "I get nervous every gig, but I learned how to harness it." Because I'm talking about every gig. I was like, "Oh God, oh!" And until I played those first couple notes, then I would just go forward. But other than that, I was always nervous. I'm still nervous a lot of times. But I just know how to harness it now. And
Hmm.
and like we always say, I'm not gonna die. Regardless, that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like once you're on that stage, regardless if you make a mistake, you got to learn how to recover. You don't just sit there and just like, oh, no.
And I thought just rookies or people who don't do it all the time feel like that. Because when you don't do it all the time, you get up there and you're like, oh man, hope I remember, hope this, hope that. But people who do it all the time, they just get up there so natural and just.
So how would you say you harness that nervousness?
I don't know. It's something. It's okay. First of all, it's Chicago, right?
Right.
So you grow up with all these amazing musicians.
Yes.
And like Chicago is very judgmental.
Yeah.
Very
So
much so.
you either gonna stay at a certain level, or you gotta push through. So what I used to always do every time I used to get called for sessions and stuff like that, I would visualize people I would get nervous in front of. So all the rehearsals I was in the house, I would visualize them looking at me because I knew the session. You know how Chicago is. When the session come, all the musicians gonna come close to the front,
Right.
and they're gonna stand right there and look dead at you.
Oh, jeez.
They do.
Why you playing?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're gonna stand there and watch you, and some come up there to intimidate you. Some come up there just for really report and try to give you that energy, trying to push you forward. But majority is like, let me see what this guy can do.
That's
it should have been me.
move.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just you gotta push through. That's something I had to do because I never wanted the big stage, but once it was like I started getting these calls, and I used to get it's like let's get it. Had to grow up. You had to push.
Do you get nervous, Elliot?
Every time, all the time.
Elliot.
Yeah. My church is one thing, but like take me outside of my church. And even there are sometimes where I'm nervous at my own church. I'm in front of these people every single Sunday. But there are sometimes where I'm like, okay, I hope this goes right. What is this chord? How does this go again? I think I know this. It happens. Like, but you have to push through. One thing my mentor told me when she was younger, she used to sing and she used to cry a lot. She said her teacher told her, we came to see you sing, not to see you cry. And so it's like they really did come to see what you're going to do. So I'm like, let me get up and do what I'm supposed to do and just kind of, push my way. So yeah, I still get nervous.
Darius Brooks helped me with that too. I was in a rehearsal playing for getting ready for a big concert he had coming up. And I came in. I didn't play for Darius on a consistent, but he would call me in for something big or something like that. And I was doing an event with him. So he asked me, he stopped the rehearsal, the musicians weren't playing right. He looked at me, he said, are you nervous? I said, yeah. So he asked the other guy, are you nervous? No, I ain't nervous. So he went off on him.
He did?
He went off on him.
That's Darius.
He said, I love this guy right here. He said, you know why? He care about the music. That's why he nervous, because he care about the music. You and yourself. You're in your, I was like, wow,
Because you want to do right by people that call you, especially if they're paying you. You want to always put your best foot forward. So there's that nervousness of, I hope I play this right, especially if it's somebody of like a high caliber who knows their music. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put their mess up nobody's stuff.
And it's not about me. Like I had to learn like when I got with Gray Boy, Percy Gray, Gerald Gray.
Oh, yeah.
And Gerald told me, he said, you always want to, he said it's like a cake. You can eat the cake by itself without the frosting, but if you just try to eat the frosting, you're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
So the frosting is all these licks that everybody playing today, but they don't know no foundation, and that's the cake.
Yeah.
So you can put it, the foundation, and you want to add some frosting to it, that's fine. But if you don't have no foundation whatsoever, but that's all you have is licks, you going here. Like now, I always tell my students, like, social media will send you off, because you'll get so many likes, so many followers off all these licks and stuff like that. But as far as foundation, only thing you good is sitting at home making videos, but you're not getting no calls.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Slice them up, sir. Slice them up. Slice them on up. It's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be careful. I mean, you think about, listen to the radio today. It's majority garbage on the radio.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
no, it's not
You're
really
right.
music on there, but that's what the world is asking for, because you got majority all these little kids that's not talented. So you got all this auto tune, and they
He
just say
sliced it
wah,
up.
wah, wah, wah.
Slice them up,
You know what I'm saying?
sir.
I mean, I'm just keep
No, you
on,
keeping it
you know.
real.
I mean,
Yes,
that's
sir.
why we go back to the old school music, and that's why we learn real music,
Yeah.
because you can't learn nothing pretty much off of what's going on today, because there's really nothing out there. And somebody get a auto tune and a mic and a nice beat, what they're not really saying
And
nothing.
how do they
Right.
blow up though? But I've seen some of these people blow up.
Because
Yeah,
you have the younger generation that's not talented. It's just like somebody come in that's not talented, and the judges are not talented people. They gonna say, "Man, he's talented," because all of them,
Nobody.
they
Because they
have
don't even know
zero-
talent.
Right, they don't know
Right.
talent exactly.
Very right.
So that's what's going on. That's why they don't have jazz stations on the radio. Like
I
that
really
anymore,
hate
'cause
that.
It's real.
Mm.
It's real
Mhm.
music.
Real music.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's real music. But all year round, jazz is jazz events going on and sold out 10,000, 20,000 people. But as far as the other stuff, you know.
To change the subject slightly, I need for you to talk to your sister.
What?
I need you to talk to your sister. She wants to know where we going to eat.
You know what?
Cynthia.
You are so wrong. You are so wrong to bring that up. Because you know what? He was really getting into we often talk about that often, not to say anything negative about any kind of genre of music, and I don't have the ear like you or the ear like you, but I know when I hear good.
Yeah.
And I hear such mediocrity, and it's like, how are they even? And I never understood, how are they even doing it? How are they even blowing up like
We're
that?
always taught. I know I was taught. When you deal with church, give your congregation more credit. They may not be up singing and playing it, but they know when it's not right. They know when it's like
You know it.
just
You can
put
hear
together,
it. You can, yeah.
You know.
They ain't together. They don't know what part is not
Right.
together.
Yeah, but they know something's
"Y'all was
off.
today."
Yeah.
They have no problem.
Oh yeah.
And that's just in any arena, secular arena. It's the same thing. They may not know half the stuff you're doing, but they know it if you just giving them some foolishness, some stuff you didn't really put any time into. Yeah.
Or when they in the studio practicing.
Right.
Nothing makes me more.
Like,
You
come
didn't
on.
practice this before you got here. This is not rehearsal time.
Right. This is money. Come on.
Oh my God.
Right. I can't get this. You don't know it. You
Oh
didn't
my
practice.
gosh.
See, I'm not in the music business, but you do, like you say, in church, you know.
You know.
And we
Yeah,
have
because you sit in the front. And I see your expressions, and you're like, what they trying to do?
Don't tell. It's not meant for everybody to see. But we had a moment where a fellow musician left, and I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
We won't talk about
You know
that.
what? Wait, I'm sure you know what she's talking
Oh,
about.
I heard about it.
Oh,
I heard about it.
Oh man, it was rough. I was like,
Oh,
okay.
it was rough for
I
everybody.
could
It was
just
a
miss
hard.
church at this point.
No, it was a hard couple months.
No,
I think.
really.
Yeah, it was. How do you think we felt as a choir? Like, what are you playing? I can't follow.
Oh, I remember that. You called me.
Oh my God.
You called me about that. But what did I tell you about that person? I'm like, they don't know what they're doing.
Oh,
Like, they just don't know. You can't just put anybody in there. But I won't even jump that.
No, we're not gonna even talk about
I have a
that.
question. What advice do you have for people that want to follow in your footsteps? Musicians, singers, all of them.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Go ahead.
I would just say, make sure that's your lane. Because it's a lot of musicians just playing because that's what everybody else is doing. So make sure you're doing what you supposed to be doing, and then invest in yourself. Don't try to do nobody else's lane. Don't try to get on my stage. Just do you. That's stay in your lane. If you feel like you're supposed to be a singer, but the bass players are getting paid more, stay in your lane.
That's it.
Do what you love to do. Don't do, you're making money and I'm talented that I can pick up this instrument and just play. I know a lot of guys out here, and I never put nobody down. It's a lot of guys out here that can play some bass, like really, really play, but they never get that phone call. I do know that I'm blessed to be where I'm at. I understand that he trusts me because I'm always going to tell the truth. I'm always going to give back, and I'm not looking for no money. Yeah, I don't have to make no money off of whoever I play for. I just know God going to take care of me. So
yeah,
wow.
Even if the gigs I have today or the jobs I have today, they can leave right now. That's how I've always been like that. And you ask my mom, I always had great jobs and stuff like that. When I was 18, I had a $21 job, you know what I'm saying, $21 an hour job. And it's just, I always believe in God. That's how my mama taught me. It's like, hey, you know, and be anxious for nothing. So I never got like, oh, well, I might get this call from such and such. I didn't care about that stuff. I stayed on my course, and it was a lonely course. A lot of people was, hey, I want to sound like this guy. I'm gonna sound like this, sounding like clones, and no disrespect to nobody, but I always had my own sound. It's like, so I just stayed to my lane, and it worked for me.
That's good advice.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Since you're so busy, traveling internationally, doing all kind of gigs, doing personal things, how do you manage to continue to carve out time for those small engagements? I know it seems to me, just hearing you, it's just instinctively who you are, but I know for a fact we have a real small church, like a couple hundred people, and I know you're there Christmas and other times when one of the Smith brothers call you. How do you carve out time for that?
If I'm home,
And I'm surprised you even do it, because some people won't even, who used to do it, don't come back. How do you do it?
foundation.
Hmm.
Dennis is my foundation. And at one point, I felt like I started getting a lot of phone calls, and because Dennis been burnt before.
Oh,
a
yes.
lot of guys got to a certain level, and they feel
Yeah.
like they couldn't go back.
Right.
That's not me. I know who my foundation is, and it was way bigger than the music. Dennis loved me.
I know.
He loved me. So anytime I'm able to do anything for him, I'm gonna be there, and it's not even about money. Never. So if he tell me, like right now, man, he'll call me and say, hey, man, what you doing? Let's watch a movie. And I used to go over his house and watch a movie with him. I'll do it today. He'll say, hey, man, let's go grab something to eat. Let's go. It'll never change. That's foundation is you know, that's where it's at for me. I don't get caught up in the hype and like, well, you know, this guy got a name on Facebook. And he got
this out.
30,000 followers, so I need to hang out with
You
him.
need to attach yourself to him.
I think there's a lot of that going on among
Yes, there is. Yes,
younger
there is.
musicians, you
Yeah.
know,
The hype.
and it's like, number one, here I go. My mentor was like, she would tell me, don't believe your own hype, number one, and then don't follow the hype of these other people.
Yeah.
You know, when you have something special and unique, you need to hone in on that, because that's what's going to set you apart from everybody else. And I can say for sure that's definitely something that G-Body has done.
Yeah.
He knows that he has something very special and very unique, and he's followed it all the way through.
And that's what's taken him this far. And he's just beginning.
Yeah.
And I know the name of the song now.
Oh.
Survivor. You remember that one?
Yes.
I used to play that all day. I'm like,
But don't remember the names.
well, because it was just, I could just hear it in my head, but I don't remember the name of it. But it's Survivor. Yeah, and that's the one that you played on, Survivor, with the Smith brothers. So, I have to mention this, because even though he talked about the things he does, the people he helps, who he collabs with, he didn't mention the work he's doing with a not-for-profit organization, teaching music and sharing the arts, SMA, Smith Music Association, with often disadvantaged youth as well as anyone interested in learning. Now, you're doing so many things. How important is that you're giving back to the community like that?
If I could have helped it, I would have loved to always help mentor young men. Because when I was working for the special ed department, I loved it.
Did you?
I absolutely loved it. And my uncle used to always say to me, like, if I can do this for free, and God would make sure I had enough just to take care of my bills, I will be good.
Wow.
And that's how I've always been. I will never have to have a lot of money in the bank. As long as I can take care of my bills and stuff like that, not even all the stuff I want, just my needs, I'll be good.
And that's why it keeps coming to you, because you don't have that love of, you know what? So that's why it keeps coming to you. And you know the hierarchy of putting God first.
Some radio stations are planning already.
But if someone contacts you, because I want one of my girlfriends, she's in Atlanta now, and she has a 4-hour jazz show every day. So she can contact you, or I can.
Me and I send it directly to her.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Because we definitely want to get it out, because I know this is the beginning of, you know how you can, like when you had students and you're an educator and you're an educator. I'm in the school system. Some kids, you see a whole lot of kids, but some of them have something special. Yeah. And you know that something great's going to happen to them. You've always had that aura. So I knew when this started happening that you were going to just blow up. So we want to get this thing out as soon as possible. So when you blow up, we'll ask you to come back. And just like you come to our little bitty church on the corner,
Little bit of jokes on the corner.
you'll come back here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Do you have any final things to say to the listening audience?
Just keep on pushing. If you believe in yourself, keep on pushing. If he told you to do it, stay focused. Stay focused. It's okay to be that only one doing it. Because I mean, if you think about it, everybody wasn't doing Sean John. Everybody wasn't doing Jay-Z.
That's true.
So that's how you become a leader. I have a friend that he used to get bases before anybody else got them, but he would get rid of them because nobody had them. Like 3 years later, we have them. Then he's trying to catch up again. It's like, but you had them already. Stay there, Just stay focused.
Any last questions for Mr. G-Body?
I don't have any. I'm just so full.
You take in what he gave.
Yeah.
And he gave everything I expected. Wait, he said a check.
I got a check for you for $5. $5.
Him and his
I
check.
just want to know who's going to cut that check.
I got a check.
How much was it? $5?
$5 holler. There you go.
You put it in my mama's name because
No, he didn't.
See, that's wrong. It's musicians that still do that.
right.
Wait, put in the mama name?
Insufficient.
Oh, well.
Well, the Voices of Change, we so much appreciate G-Body coming to visit us. I'd asked him to be on the show, and his schedule didn't allow it late last year. I said, but I'll do it. And he is a man of integrity and a man of his word.
Indeed.
Called him back, and I said, look, the day has changed. He said, whenever you guys want me. Thank you so much. We will definitely keep in touch. And I know you're going to blow up. We'll have you coming back with that new CD. And maybe this time I'll know the name of all the songs. Maybe.
Trust me, okay. I don't remember what I played this morning. So
We'll be back next week, same time, 6 p.m. on Sunday. And thank you for tuning in to the Voices of Change. Have a blessed week.